All right. Let me get everything situated. All right. Get Instagram jumping. Get Clubhouse jumping. Facebook is. All right. Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. This is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, your men's character and confidence development coach. I am super excited, y'all, for a few reasons, and I'm going to get down to that in just a second. But before I do that, anyone that knows me understands that there's certain protocol that I must take care of before I do anything. And with that being said, dear God, we thank you for another opportunity to say thank you. Father, I'm grateful because right now I understand that this time that we're in is a blessed time. So I'm grateful in this time and also ask you for more blessings to move forward in grace and space that we may grow and be the people and individuals that you called us to be. And these things I do pray in the Most High's name. Amen. All right, my good people, what it do, wherever you are at checking me right now, Facebook, Instagram, or Clubhouse, I appreciate it. If you can tell right now, my energy level is on 1,000,000. Last night was day one of this self-confidence challenge. Self-confidence development challenge. And it was phenomenal. We had a great outlook last night, a great turnout. Me and the gentleman last night started digging. It was the beginning of the construction, we called it last night. Last night was phenomenal. We went through the entire first phase of the challenge. So I'm super excited because I've seen men changing their perceptions of who they are in last night's first session. So I'm just excited about where it's going to go from here. And I just appreciate every man that's taking the time and committed to himself, right? Because the reason I say I'm proud of the men that committed to themselves, because what's going to happen in the long run is that as long as we men every day make a commitment to ourselves to be better, in the long run, it's going to create a trickle effect in our communities, right? A lot of the things that happen in our communities are happening because us men, we are not in place in the rightful position. So once we get that rightful position in place, our communities will then benefit in a positive way. So like I said, last night we went through the first part of the program, and from what the turnout was and the response was, like I said, men became enlightened about how they can start developing the confidence. Last night we cracked the ground open. We started doing the digging, because one thing we realized is men, we like to do things on surface levels, right? As us men, for some reason or another, we tend to do things on the surface level. And the real work begins under the surface, right? There's so many things that we need to address, but we only use the surface emotions and things that we know how to react to based upon our emotions and the things that we deal with daily, as per stress, right? We don't realize we're not stressed just because we're stressed. We're stressed because something's wrong. And last night during the challenge, we realized us men, we're so prone to take care of a check engine light in a car, right? We're prone to do that. When we see a check engine light in the car as men, we go bananas. Oh my God, let me get this thing to a mechanic immediately before something else goes wrong. Ladies, not so much. You know what I mean? You guys have driven that car for a little minute with that check engine light on. No shade, just the truth, right? But us men, for some reason, we see a check engine light, we go crazy. But when we have check engine lights within us, we don't pay attention. We let them go. Like, I'm not feeling like myself today, but don't worry about it. I'm a man. Well, you know what? My emotions are not, I don't feel like I'm in a good headspace today, but I'm a man, so. Right? So we'll have all these signals, all these signs, all these alerts, all these notifications going on within us, but we will avoid them. We won't pay attention to them. And what happens? We run around here until something pops, right? Until we lose it somewhere within a relationship, at work, somewhere. And then what happens after we pop? We have regret. And then regret sends us into a negative mind space. Then we start doubting ourselves. And then our self-esteem and our confidence begin to take tolls. You see how it's all connected? So like I said, last night was so powerful because we're starting to do the work. Like I stressed that last night. It's about doing the work. We as men think that sometimes doing the work has to be physical. We don't look at other work that's internally as work for some reason. It's one of our mental blocks. We think that in order for it to be work, we have to pick something up and put it down. But the moment we think about the introspective work, the mental work that it takes for us to get past and get to the next level, we put those to the back burner, or we just don't address it because we think it's not work. But the one thing I said we established last night was that this is very much work. This is probably some of the hardest work that anyone can ever do. This self-development journey is the hardest journey ever. So I told the men last night, it's about courage. Right now, we all made the decision to be courageous and take this step to be better. And confidence comes after the courage. So like I said last night, I'm super excited because tonight is going to be another dope night. We're going in again, and we're going to build on the layers in which we laid last night. The foundation has been laid. I'm super excited because I know that change is happening. And everyone that's checking me out right now on Instagram, Facebook, and Clubhouse, thank you so much. The part of this conversation that I want to get to today, right, was on my heart, was on my mind. Oh, thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate you. Last night, after having the call, and during the call, I said a few things that triggered some thoughts in my mind. And then I woke up this morning, and one of my mentors, shout out to Dewan, he texted us in the group text something that really added on to the thought I had last night was, now, avoiding our trauma is not being healed, right? I'm gonna say that again. Avoiding our traumas and the things that we've been through is not us seeking healing or being healed. That's not how this works. And that statement really brought me back to my childhood, right? So let me explain. So when I was younger growing up, I lived with my mom and my stepdad, and I had a room in the basement. So in my room, my mother and my stepfather never bothered me. Go to your room and do what you want in there. Just don't have nothing out in the outside area. Your room is your room. So I appreciated it, and I did what most dudes do. My room was crazy looking. You know what I mean? Like, I had chaos, but in my mind, it was organized chaos. So a part of that chaos, right? And stick with me because I'm telling you all this for a reason. So a part of that organized chaos for me was I had a slit in my rug, right? That was near the foot of my bed. So whenever I got into bed, I was able to take whatever money I had in my hand and stuff it in that area of the carpet. So, after a while, anytime you begin to stick anything under a surface and it piles up, it becomes to protrude, right? It becomes to stand up. It becomes to be a lump in that surface. So I did that for a few months and, stacking money that way. Young and dumb. Don't ask me why. But anyway, one day I came home from school. Now I played basketball. And this one day we had a half a day, but the only reason I had to run back to school in this half a day because we had an away game. And for this away game, I had to make sure I had the right jersey. So when I ran home, I realized I didn't have the right jersey in my bag. So I ran downstairs and I ran to my room. Now, that hill of money, that little bump of money in my rug caused my other side of my carpet to come up. So in the midst of me running through my organized chaos to go get what I needed, was necessary, I went to go grab it and I hit my foot and I fell and hit the side of my head. Now you would say, yo, RJ, what does this even have to do with anything? Bless you, King. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Blessing to you as well, son. I hit my head at that point, right? When I hit my head, it threw me off a little bit, and it caused me to have a bad day for the rest of the day, end up having a bad game and all those things. But the reason I'm telling you this story is this. If we don't deal with our emotions and we tuck them away and we sweep them under the carpet and we just hide them in our closet and just close the door. You know how we used to do when we was teenagers and mother told you to clean your room before you go somewhere. You was like, yo, I'm about to go in and throw everything in the closet and close the door so it could look clean. You know what that's about, right? If we continue to do that, before you know it, the very thing that you're trying to tuck away and keep away from you is going to be the very thing that's going to pop up in your life and cause you to fall. The same way I thought to myself, by sticking this money under this rug would benefit me, it actually ended up hurting me. And this is what happened to a lot of us, especially us men. We do so much stuff to keep our minds busy. We do a lot of things to keep ourselves out of what's going on in our everyday minds, right? We do a lot of busy work. For me, for example, when I know there's introspective work I do, I've been paying attention to myself. When I know there's some work I need to do on myself personally, what I tend to do is wash dishes. What I tend to do is go find other busy work so I don't have to focus in on the task at hand, which is the introspective work. So if this is anyone, if I'm talking to anyone and you can be honest right now that you go through the same thing, wherever you at, give me some ones in the chat right quick. Are you on Clubhouse? Wave your hand there, like whoever you are. I can't see, but just let me know that I'm talking to somebody right now, because the truth is I'm being very transparent right now. This is so me right now, because this is what I go through. So check this out. Oh, I see you, Cornelius. Blessings. I got you. So check this out. So here I am, right? Stuffing money under the seat, under this rug, believing that I'm doing myself a favor. And here we are, we don't do it. We think that if we just continue to avoid things, we're really doing ourselves a favor. But the truth is, we're setting ourselves up to trip and hurt ourselves over the same things that we're trying to avoid in the first place. And let me take it a little bit deeper for you. For all of my parents right now, all the fathers out there, all the mothers, don't mess around and sweep all this nonsense, continue to sweep all this nonsense under your personal rugs, right, in your life, and cause your children to trip over it. I'm gonna let that one sizzle for a second. Don't be so quick and so fast to sweep things under the rug, thinking that, oh, it ain't gonna affect us right now, or we can deal with this later. Don't be so sure that it's not gonna affect you, because in the long run, it might not be you that trip over it. It might be your son. It might be your daughter. Yeah, this is why I go so hard and I'm transparent in my growth and what I'm going through, because let me tell you something. One of my biggest fears is not what you have to say about me. My biggest fears is not the concern of what the public thinks about RJD. My biggest fear and concern is that I let the ones that is closest to me down, which is my son and my daughter. I don't want to leave no rocks unturned to where they got to come through life and stumble across them. My goal is to move these things out of their way. And that should be every one of our goals, to not sweep things under the rug. Because let me tell you something right here and right now. In the family that I live in right now, my grandmother passed away almost a few years ago. And if I have any family right now listening to this live right now, I don't apologize. There is some dirty, disgusting secrets that reside in my family that we decided, for somebody to decide they're going to keep sweeping under the rug. Oh, and it's going to be just fine, they thought. But here I am in this generation now, where I have a bunch of family that don't know each other and can't talk to each other because there's so much built-in resentment due to things that we had nothing to do with. We are tripping over the stuff that our forefathers swept under the rug. And it's not okay. I'm not the one that's about to continue to trip over it either. I'm the one in the family who's going to pull that rug up. So I ask and I challenge y'all today, are you going to be the one to pull that rug up? Are you going to say enough is enough with all this stuff and all that nonsense under the rugs? And let me be very, very clear. When I say stuff and nonsense, I'm talking about insecurities, unaddressed traumas, hurt, regret, pain, anguish, deceit, envy, discouragement, disloyalty, heartbreak. All this mess, y'all, under our carpets. Who is going to pick this rug up today, y'all? I'm on fire about this. Because let me tell y'all something. But the day I close my eyes, that final day I close my eyes on this earth, I'm going to close my eyes with a smile. You hear me? I promise to close my eye with a smile. That smile is going to be a smile of completion. I did what I had to do to make sure that this path that my child has to go through is a lot smoother than what it was before I got here. That's my job. That's each and every one of our jobs. Our job is not to just sit here and exist on this planet. That's not why we're here. For example, when children are born, right? Their first thing to do is start doing something. Now, we as adults, we look at them and we're like, oh my God, this child is so busy. They don't ever sit still. All they do is get into stuff and do. Have you ever thought for a second that's what we're supposed to be doing? A lot of us are just sitting around existing. The good book tells us to go back to childhood if you want to understand how to live this life. Because let me tell you, my children have taught me so much about my personal development, it's ridiculous. For crying out loud, one of the biggest lessons my son has ever taught me, my son, right? My 4-year-old son, he'll be 4 this month. So one day we're in the kitchen and I'm washing dishes. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm getting the house together, situated for the wife to come home so she can make dinner and then just go with our day, right? Now my son comes to me and I got a whole bunch of things going on. I'm cooking him a little lunch. I'm washing dishes. I'm dealing with my daughter. So I have a few things happening at one time. He wanted my attention. He needed something from me. He didn't come up to me and say, Dad, I need your attention, right? As we as adults know how to do. He didn't do that. Right now, my son has a speech delay right now. So he doesn't have all of his vocabulary. So he came to me, pay attention now, y'all. He came to me, touched my leg. Hear me good. So when he touched my leg, I was kind of annoyed. I'm busy right now, Joe. I'll help you in a second. So I didn't even look down. Went back to doing what I was doing. He touched my leg again. Now he pulled on my pants leg. So now he's tugging on me, right? So I say, all right, what is it? So I look down. What is it, son? He didn't open his mouth, y'all. Only thing he did was look up and put his hands up, symbolizing he needed help. We men are so broken, y'all, that the one natural thing that we were programmed to do, we won't, which is simply just reach up to heaven and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Kings, you asking for help is not an indictment on your manhood. No, it is not an indictment on your masculinity. No, it is a symbol of strength. It is a symbol of power. It is a symbol of maturity. And it's also a symbol of a better future. Because when it becomes a problem is this, because for some reason or another, we feel like it's a problem, open our mouth saying this, we need help. But what I have to realize is that it comes from a trauma. Now, I addressed this last night with one of my neighbors. We spoke this after I had the session last night. And I happen to realize that the reason why we as men have a hard time asking for help, whether it be to the father or to one of our brothers or to someone in this lifetime, the reason we have such a hard time is because of past trauma. So more of that stuff we swept under the carpet, right? Now, what do you mean, RJ? How could past trauma stop me from asking what I need going forth? Let me explain to you. We as men, we do something that we criticize our women for. Let me explain what that is. We compartmentalize and we hold on to feelings and things that we really shouldn't, right? And I'm gonna be honest, men, I don't care how much you get mad with me, I don't care how much it is, I'm gonna tell the truth, whether you like it or not. We take things and hold on to them. So for instance, at one point in life, through every man's life, it was something we wanted. We asked for something, we yearned for it. We wanted it so bad. We could almost taste whatever it was. And it was so close to us and we wanted it with everything in our being. And we messed around and we asked for it, right? Mom, dad, auntie, uncle, bro, sis, I really want XYZ. Can I have? And the response that we got wasn't the one we wanted. It was no, Not right now. It's not for you. You can't. And instead of learning the lesson from whatever that no was, right? Because we're not taught to do that at an early age for some reason. Instead of not addressing that situation for what it is and see the lesson in it, we just took the pain from it and harbored it. So now we as men, we don't even want to open our mouths to say we need help. Why don't we want to open our mouths and say we need help? Because we're still holding on to the trauma of being hurt. We're hurt. We're hurting. And because we don't let that pain go, this is where we struggle, y'all. Because we won't pick that rug up, right? Back to this rug. Because we won't address the things that are affecting us as individuals, we continue to pay this price. Let me tell y'all something. This personal development journey that we're on, y'all, is one of the most expensive journeys you are ever going to be on. Expensive. Why is it expensive? Because it's going to cost you. I'm going to say that one more time. This personal development journey that you're going on is so expensive because it's going to cost you the person you are. Check your past receipts now. Because the person you are now wasn't the person you was 2 years ago. You couldn't even see the person you were 2 years ago with the person you are now. You couldn't even see it. But now, with understanding, right? And doing the real hard work. Because let me tell y'all something. Have you ever went in a room and picked up and pulled up carpet? See, I've done a few things, a construction day in my life. Yo, ripping up carpet on an old house in a space that wasn't done properly. Oh, ripping up carpet can be some real hard work. But let me tell you something. It's a lot easier to rip that carpet up and clean what's under it and lay some new carpet down rather than just to pick it up and try to sweep whatever's sticking out under it, try to manipulate it, try to not to really, quote unquote, deal with it. Because sooner or later, you're going to trip over it. Now you're saying, RJ, what do you mean by tripping over it? I can explain that. You probably see it in everyday life and don't even realize it. Your irritation levels. You're annoyed more than you're happy. You second guessing every single thought that comes to your mind. All you want to do is do nothing. You don't have the energy. You're constantly talking about you're tired. And the truth of the matter is you're tired because you're fighting a battle you shouldn't even be fighting. We got to understand that what's under these rugs in our life, these traumas, these past hurts, neglect, all these things that we have to deal with, if we deal with them now and deal with them accordingly, we'll be strong in the long run, y'all. A lot stronger. And let me tell y'all something. It feels good afterwards. During, not so much. Not so much. You know, I don't think no one really has the fun when it comes down to dealing and being in a situation. But I'm a firm believer. If you take a second to step out of it, whatever you're going through, just look at it from the grand scheme of life, you can see it's all working together for your good. It's a reason why you're going through this. It's a reason why you feel like the world is on your shoulders. Now, let me tell y'all something. Yes, we're fighting the battles that we're not out. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is why I'm saying, guys, we're tripping over things that our forefathers left in the floor. Right? Like a lot of us are fighting battles and mental wars that we don't even know how to deal with. And it has nothing to do with us. The fact that our forefathers decided, listen, and not even they decided, they didn't know. Because you don't know what you don't know, y'all. Right? It takes us grace and space to get where we've gotten. In order for us to even move forward, we got to continue to do that. But the only way, y'all, the only way is to deal with ourselves, y'all. It's to deal with it. Do the work. Ask yourselves those questions. Introspection is, like I said before, is one of the hardest things in the world to do. Hardest. But let me tell you something. It's one of the most rewarding in the long run. So, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you so much for checking me out wherever you are. Tonight I have day 2, the self-confidence development challenge. I wasn't taking any more registration, but someone got in there this morning and I got snuck in there and got the registration in, and I realized the link wasn't off. So if you still want to register, the registration link is still open. We're on day 2. And it's powerful, powerful, powerful work, y'all. Son, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Everyone who's came through on this live, wherever you are, Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, I appreciate you. I definitely thank you so much. And also, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you're not listening to this because you want to hear my voice. That's not why you're doing this. Because the truth of the matter is, you can care less about my voice. You're doing this because you know it's a higher level for you. You know that there's more out there and you're looking for it. And that I commend you on. Anyone out there that's looking to be a better version of who they were yesterday, it is commendable in my book. You should be celebrated. And as a matter of fact, you are celebrated. I celebrate you. Keep winning. Keep winning the day out there, y'all. It is your life. It is your life. You control the narrative. Do what you need to do to be the person you want to be. It has nothing to do with no one else. It's time to be selfish. It's time. It's time. I know people might get it like, oh, RJ is not good to be selfish. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're on a plane and it's going down, they don't tell you to worry about somebody else first. They tell you to put your oxygen mask on first and then go help someone else. Because if you're not okay, you can't help no one else. So with that being said, go be okay. And if you can't be okay, there's help. Reach out. Like I always say, I'm here. And if I'm not the man that has the exact help for you, trust me when I tell you, my arms is long enough, my network is big enough. There is someone in my team that can help. And I can guarantee that. So there's no reasons. There's no excuse. Don't let your traumas, don't let past hurt stop you. It's over with. You've already paid your debt. The pain is gone. It's time for you to step up now and move forward. Listen, y'all, I appreciate it, and I thank every last one of y'all. If you want to work with your boy, you know how to do it. Hit my link in the bio, schedule a session. If you're looking to register, it's also the link in my bio. People on the Clubhouse, I heard that there was a way to put it up on the link, and I haven't figured it out yet. So if you want to, hit my Instagram and register to the link in my Instagram in my bio. So with that being said, guys, it's time for me to go have a session at 12:45. I'm excited about life, and I really, really hope that you are, because we are moving forward towards something. There's a goal. There's something that we all should be striving to. And if you don't have a goal, that's a problem in itself. And there's some work that needs to be done. So with that being said, let me get out of here so I can go do some more work. I appreciate and I love everybody out there. You know my energy. You know my vibe, guys. Be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Don't worry about that. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, your men's character and confidence development coach. Like I said before, I will be blessed. So I pray that you will do the same. Peace out.